Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pretend Worlds Real People. As always, I'm Tyler, and I'll be completely honest with you. I recorded, 10 minutes of this episode with the mute button on, and I didn't realize it. I've been up since 4:30. I've barely slept the last couple of days, and it's starting to have an effect on me. So this is take two. We'll see how it goes, and we'll we'll just keep going. No guest for this week's episode. I really just wanted to talk about getting back to work in a nutshell as an actor, especially post strike. And for a lot of us who, weren't able to work the entire time because we were on strike, nothing was happening. For those of us who, work a couple part time jobs and then act and make our income that way, we were all really just trying to find something else to do because I thought the strike was going to go till January or even March. So I was ready to settle in and work any day job I can get, which funnily enough, I did get a remote job and it was great. And then something happened that kind of put a damper on it, but we'll get to that. So I do want to start by acknowledging the SAG-AFTRA vote. I believe the deadline is December 5th. Right now, based on what I've seen online and from friends, it's been pretty polarizing with folks looking into the AI verbiage and voting no, and then some others voting yes because of prior contracts and all that. I personally, I mean, I don't know if the contract is available yet. I've read what I can read. I'm not here to give my spiel on why you should vote either way. Whether it's a yes or a no. I want to tell everybody, if you're a member of the union, just vote, just give your voice, just do that. And we'll see what happens on the 5th. I have no idea what's going to occur. I think if we vote no in the majority, we go back to the table with the AMPTP, and who knows where that's going to go, especially with the holidays coming up. It could take a lot longer. So, I have no idea what's going to happen, but definitely look into the AI verbiage and just educate yourself. I'm not going to say either way what people should or shouldn't do because there are people far smarter than me that can convince you. I just wanted to acknowledge that it's out there. If you're a member of the union, please vote and make your vote count. Outside of that, let's talk about self-tapes and the fact that they've completely just exploded in the last few weeks, to the point where November, usually slower month, at least for us in a regional area like Colorado, they've been just popping up all over the place. I think one week I had about 8 or 9 self-tape requests and I could barely keep up. That has never happened. It was insane. So I do want to just talk about, the importance of self-tapes and getting those in before the deadline, but also around the holiday season. Like, don't completely isolate yourself from your family or from certain commitments to make this work. Yes, I mean, if it's something that you're really into and you feel like, okay, I have a good feeling about this, I'm going to knock it out. Cool. Make some compromises and make some schedule changes, because people will understand, especially if it's something you feel like you could book. So I did want to talk about just the nature of auditioning and working around the holidays and what that can do. I think as long as you communicate openly with, whether it's with your partners or your family, just letting them know, like, hey, I really want to do this. I want to spend time with you, but I need some time, whether it's like in the morning, afternoon, evening. Carve some time to rehearse and practice before you actually start going deeper into the scene. Because in all honesty, I will, I'll be working. I'll get a break and then I'll just pop up the sides and start rehearsing, for 5 minutes, and then put it away and go back to work. Just doing that little by little, intermittently. So when I do have a longer rehearsal session, I already feel like I'm closer to that character. I'm closer to what I want to do for this performance, but I'm also able to sit down with my family and go do things and enjoy the holidays, because auditioning is one thing, this industry is one thing, but your family, hopefully, they should be there for a long time, but things can change. So in a world of FOMO, if that's even still a thing, don't be afraid to kind of stand your ground and want to go spend time with your family, and then make some time to rehearse and do whatever you need for the self tape. At this point, the self tapes are like, I think they're 5 days away from when you get it as far as deadlines go. So you have plenty of time. Just don't fret. So yeah, that's my weird insomniac rant about self tapes, and now I will take a tea break. God, I hope none of you heard that slurping sound. Yeah, so in addition to that, I do want to talk about the work-life balance with something that occurred with me, or occurred in my life this week, and that was, I picked up a full-time remote job, and then I booked something that I wasn't expecting, and they need me very, very, very soon. And that it kind of broke my heart. So instead of just kind of sitting on it and waiting to email my employer, who I've been with for a couple of days, for a job I really enjoy, instead of emailing them like the day of and saying like, "Hey, I got to call out," da da da, I was just upfront with them. I told them what was happening, the nature of it, how it wasn't expected, and wanted to see what they thought, about whether just disbanding entirely or if there's other avenues. And fortunately, and this was fantastic, they called me in for a digital meeting and we had a very, very long talk. It was, it wasn't filled with rage or insults. It was more supportive than anything. And it looks like there's something else that I can do for them in January. And I'm so thankful to have had that conversation with them and to have had that experience, because I've worked for the service industry where, it doesn't even have to do with an acting job coming up. It's just, you find something else you want to do, you email them, you put in your 2 weeks. And I've had one or two say, yeah, don't worry about the 2 weeks, just bring in your keys. And that's, after working for them for years. So this was an amazing experience. This whole week has just been very revelatory, and I don't know, it's just been different. So it gave me hope for for what an employer could and should be in moments like that. And it was just wonderful. And I'm gonna stop talking about that because I don't know. Sorry, it was just very it was very profound. I didn't expect that. So as far as news goes for the podcast in the coming weeks, yes, it is the holidays. I have a few people that I want to get on the show, that we were talking, I think, just pre-strike, that hopefully I can get them on the show here in the next few weeks. But outside of that, I want to focus on, just some holiday themed stuff in the month of December. Do I know what that is yet? Absolutely not. I will be working out of state, for the next few weeks, so I'll have my computer. Maybe something crazy and spontaneous will come along the way, but this is a very candid, just quick talk from the PWRP podcast. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to address. Oh, Sundance. Thinking about it, I think it'd be awesome. We'll see what happens. But for those of you out there who are listening, have any of you sent in Sundance, submissions as far as like shorts, films, anything like that? If you have, please email us at pwrp.pod@gmail.com. I'll compile a list because I'd love to go see all of those submissions, especially if they make it into Sundance, and just go show my support for independent film and independent creativity. So, yes, this is where I'm going to end the podcast as I go to pack. I got a few hours left, so yeah. Thank you so much again for supporting the show and listening to this dork talk about how much he loves acting with very talented guests, and we'll have those guests rolling in after the holiday season. So yeah, thank you so much, folks, and this is the most awkward of goodbyes.